It's midnight and you're tuning in to Nightline with me, Adrian Seet. The top stories. Cabinet to fine-tune proposed progressive salary policy. Shooting incident in Kapong, police seeking for 2 men. Also, MACC on the hunt for PN chairman's son-in-law, lawyer over case of misappropriation. Thanks for joining us. Cops are on the hunt for 2 men who escaped after knocking into a policeman with their car and ramming other vehicles to evade arrest in Kepong on Monday. The 13-second video of the incident showing several policemen chasing after a Proton Wira and firing at the car's tyres also went viral on social media. Kuala Lumpur Police Chief Dato Sri Muhammad Shuhaili Muhammad Zain said the 7:45 a.m. incident occurred near the Segambut bypass in Taman Pusat, Kepong. The suspects had sped away after they were ordered to stop by the motorcycle patrol unit URB personnel from the Sentul District Police Headquarters. The duo then took the policeman on a chase until Laman Rimbunan Jalan Kepong that was busy with traffic.
Dan di sini juga kereta hijau itu telah mengundurkan kenderaan dia dan melanggar salah seorang daripada anggota URB tersebut, menunjukkan beberapa kereta awam juga mengalami kerosakan akibat daripada usaha penjenayah itu meloloskan diri.
He also said that URB personnel who pursued the suspect's car on foot fired 9 shots at the vehicle's tires to stop it from endangering public safety. The car later veered off the road before the 2 men inside escaped. Dato Sri Muhammad Shuhaili added that authorities have identified both men in the car that belonged to a woman and further investigations were being conducted to determine her relationship with the suspects. Following the incident, police were also tracking down a 40-year-old O. Gunnison, who has 3 criminal records and 8 drug-related records to assist in the investigation. The case is being investigated under the Penal Code for attempted murder and using criminal force to intimidate civil servants from carrying out their duties. The proposed progressive salary policy will be brought to the Cabinet for fine-tuning and to study the need to provide funds as incentives for its gradual implementation. Prime Minister Dato Sri Anwar Ibrahim said this would be done according to the country's financial position and policy needs. In a statement on Monday, Dato Sri Anwar said the policy was discussed at the National Economic Action Council NEAC meeting as a shift towards the job market recovery so that salaries can be increased more consistently and distributed more evenly. In the meeting, the council was of the view that the progressive salary policy was one of the job market reforms aimed at preventing Malaysian workers from being burdened by the cost of living. This was also to ensure decent wages, thereby contributing to the people's well-being and advancing the agenda of uplifting the national economy. Dato Sri Anwar also said this policy model was proposed after NEAC had considered the views and interests of employers and workers. He pointed out that the incentive-based productivity-linked policy is voluntary in nature as well as to complement the minimum wage policy, and it would come with guidelines on annual progressive salaries for every sector, occupation and level. According to initial engagements and surveys, 62% of workers and 80% of companies welcomed the proposed features of the policy. Therefore, the Council hoped that it would be well received and involve the widest participation possible of companies and workers. The Prime Minister added that salary was a fundamental issue that could no longer be neglected. Malaysians will be able to enjoy cheaper 5G internet services from August 31st with the introduction of the 5G Rahmah package. The package includes a 60GB data plan at 60 ringgit a month and smartphones as low as 120 ringgit. According to the Communications and Digital Minister Fahmi Fadzil, the first 100,000 subscribers from the B40 group will also receive a smartphone at 120 ringgit from Samsung or Honor. The package, which has a 24-month subscription contract, will be available from National Day with an extended warranty of 2 years for the smartphones as compared to the 1-year period previously. In order to show appreciation towards the civil service, another postpaid Rahmah incentive is also introduced, with a 10 ringgit monthly rebate that can be used for all existing postpaid packages starting August 31st. The service will allow all civil servants to enjoy 120 ringgit in savings per annum. Fahmi said both the 5G Rahmah package and the Rahmah Civil Servants Postpaid Incentive are mobile data service packages that are cheaper than the existing packages in the market. The minister pointed out that the unity government was serious about closing the digital gap in ensuring that Malaysians could afford quality internet services at affordable prices. The cost of living aid, or BSH, of 300 ringgit per month will be extended to non-pensionable veterans from the age of 60 effective September. Chief Secretary to the Government Tan Sri Muhammad Zuki Ali said the proposal to extend the assistance was agreed at the Cabinet Committee on Public Service Reform meeting chaired by Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim on Monday. In a statement, he said the BSH extension will benefit a total of 41,970 non-pensionable veterans, with an additional financial implication of 151.1 billion ringgit per year. He added that the government had previously announced special appreciation aid of 300 ringgit for civil servants and 200 ringgit for government pensioners, which will be paid on August the 10th. This year, Tan Sri Zuki pointed out that civil servants had also enjoyed a special additional annual salary increment of 100 ringgit, Aidilfitri special financial assistance of 700 ringgit, as well as a 2023 special financial assistance of 700 ringgit. The meeting also discussed matters involving the improvement and welfare of civil servants, especially the status of the Public Service Remuneration Scheme review that was last carried out in 2001. The Malaysian Meteorological Department, Met Malaysia, predicts thunderstorms and rain on Tuesday, which falls on early voting day in the 6 states holding their state elections. According to the Met Malaysia website, thunderstorms are forecasted in 1 or 2 places in the coastal areas of Selangor and Negeri Sembilan in the morning, with similar weather conditions and rain expected in the inland areas in the evening. In Pulau Pinang and Kedah, rain is also forecast in 1 or 2 places in the coastal areas in the morning and thunderstorms in 1 or 2 places in the afternoon. As for Terengganu and Kelantan, the weather is expected to be fine in both states in the morning and thunderstorms in 1 or 2 places in the afternoon and evening. A total of 97,388 individuals consisting of armed forces and police personnel as well as their spouses will fulfill their responsibility as early voters in the 6 state elections on Tuesday. The early voting will also involve the Kuala Terengganu parliamentary by-election following the Terengganu Election Court's decision on June 27th to annul the victory of past candidate Dato' Ahmad Amzad Hashim in the 15th general election after finding out that corruption had taken place. According to the Election Commission (EC), the latest electoral roll that has been updated up to June 21st will be used for the 6 state elections as well as the Kuala Terengganu parliamentary by-election. Early voting for the 6 state elections will see 49,660 military personnel and 47,728 police personnel, as well as their spouses, who will cast their ballots at 260 early polling centres involving 377 channels. Meanwhile, early voting for the Kuala Terengganu by-election will involve 1,362 policemen and 35 military personnel, along with their spouses, and 4 early polling centres will be opened at the Kuala Terengganu Police Contingent headquarters. All the early polling centres will open simultaneously at 8 a.m. and will close in stages according to their locations. According to the EC, a total of 103,197 postal ballot papers have also been issued to eligible voters, including Malaysians residing abroad, election workers, EC members and officers, as well as media practitioners. The postal ballot papers must be returned to the respective returning officers before 5 p.m. on polling day, and that is on August the 12th. Meanwhile, Inspector General of Police Tan Sri Razaruddin Hussein has urged all police personnel to fulfill their duty to cast their ballots on Tuesday.
Ini merupakan satu manifestasi kepada rakyat bahawa PDRM mendukung proses demokrasi dalam mengundi. Justru itu, sila laksanakan accountability mengundi oleh semua warga PDRM yang terlibat. Saya mengambil kesempatan ini juga.
Tan Sri Razarudin said this in his special address to police personnel in conjunction with the state elections at Bukit Aman, Kuala Lumpur on Monday. He also reminded police personnel on duty throughout the campaign period and polling day this Saturday to carry out their tasks with the utmost dedication and caution. The state elections in Selangor, Negeri Sembilan, Pulau Pinang, Kedah, Terengganu and Kelantan will be held simultaneously with the Kuala Terengganu parliamentary by-election on August the 12th.
Penyanyi kumpulan Spoon ditemui mati dipercayai dibunuh.
Siapa yang tak kenal dengan lagu Rindu Serindu-Rindunya kan?
Sangat-sangat terkejut, memang ingat itu bukan Alung yang itulah.
Seorang anggota polis yang dituduh membunuh penyanyi kumpulan Spoon.
Dan mayat Alung ditemui di dalam bumi dalam keadaan berikat.
Fail Mahkamah, Rabu 9 malam di TV3 dan stream secara HD ditonton.
Nightline continues. All 499 members of the Malaysian contingent to the 25th World Scouts Jamboree, held from August the 1st to the 12th in Seoul, South Korea, are reported to be safe following the heatwave in Seemangam. The Foreign Ministry, through the Malaysian Embassy in Seoul, confirmed the matter in a statement on Monday. According to the initial reports, the statement said 4 people from the Malaysian contingent have experienced health problems such as headaches, fever and rashes. All of them were reported to have received appropriate treatment. It also said that the Malaysian Embassy in Seoul will continue to be in close contact with representatives of the Malaysian contingent and the organisers to get the latest development. According to international reports on Sunday, hundreds have fallen ill at the outdoor World Scouts Jamboree after the temperatures have hit 35 degrees Celsius. The Scout Association confirmed that the British group of 4,500, the largest in attendance, is moving from a campsite at Seemangam to Seoul. The US and Singaporean teams are also pulling their members out of the event. In the meantime, organisers of the World Scout Jamboree race to evacuate thousands of mainly teenage participants from their South Korea campsite before a typhoon is expected to hit the area. According to the World Organization of the Scout Movement, South Korea's government has informed the group that they were planning an early departure from the campsite due to the typhoon. Typhoon Kanun, that has wreaked havoc in southern Japan, is forecast to reach southern South Korea on Thursday near the Jamboree's campsite. President Yoon Suk-yeol's office said there were plans to put up the scouts in accommodations in the Seoul area, adding that the details will be announced later. About 43,000 people from 155 countries joined the Jamboree in North Jeolla province, but an extreme heat wave caused hundreds of scouts to fall ill, forcing Seoul to deploy military doctors, offer air-conditioned buses, and vow an all-out effort to salvage the event. The Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission, MACC, is tracking down Datuk Muhammad Adlan Berhan, who is Perikatan National Chairman Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin's son-in-law and lawyer Mansur Saad. The two men, aged 48 and 69 respectively, are being sought by the graft buster to assist in its investigation into a case of misappropriation involving the registration, recruitment and biometric storage of foreign workers in a ministry. In a statement on Monday, the MACC said it had tried to contact Dato' Adlan, who is a businessman, and Mansur directly and through their lawyers. However, both have refused to cooperate and failed to present themselves at the MACC's office. A check with the Immigration Department found that they had left Malaysia on May 17th and 21st, respectively. So far, there are no records of them re-entering the country. Those who have information on these individuals are urged to contact Investigating Officer Nur Muhammad Amin Jamaluddin using the contact details shown on your screen. King approves Han Manet as next Premier. This and more from the Foreign Front after this breather. We're back with more news from the Foreign Front. Cambodia's king has approved the nomination of Prime Minister Hun Sen's eldest son as the nation's next premier, confirming a much-anticipated transfer of power by one of the world's longest-serving leaders. Following a request from Hun Sen, King Norodom Sihamoni on Monday issued a royal decree stating that he appointed Han Manet as the Prime Minister of the Kingdom of Cambodia for the 7th mandate of the parliament. However, to officially become the country's next leader, the 45-year-old and his cabinet must win a confidence vote in parliament set for August 22nd. Hun Sen previously announced he was stepping down as Prime Minister and handing power to Han Manet days after a landslide victory in July's election. While insisting he would not interfere with his son's rule, Hun Sen has also promised Cambodians that he will continue to dominate the country's politics. Thailand's Boom Jai Thai party leader Anutin Chanvirakul on Monday said he accepts Pheu Thai Party's invitation to try to form a government more than 2 months after the country's general elections. Boom Jai Thai, known for championing the decriminalization of cannabis, however, said it would only ally with Pheu Thai on 3 conditions. They include the new alliance leaving the country's strict laws on insulting the monarchy untouched. Anutin also said his party would remain in the Pheu Thai-led alliance as long as the Move Forward party was not included and they did not form a minority government. It was believed that Move Forward had previously campaigned on reforming the controversial Les Majestés laws that may say are used to suppress the opposition to the current royalist military-backed government. The populist Pheu Thai Party won the 2nd largest share of votes in May's election and is trying to form a government after winner Move Forward's attempts to form a government failed in parliament. Rahul Gandhi returned to India's parliament on Monday after a Supreme Court ruling boosting the profile of his Congress party and its opposition allies ahead of a no-confidence vote against Prime Minister Narendra Modi's government. The vote is not expected to affect the popularity of Modi's ruling Bharatiya Janata Party (BJP) that enjoys a strong majority. However, the return of Gandhi is likely to provide a boost to his Congress party that last month joined forces with more than 20 other opposition parties in a political coalition called India to collectively take on the Modi government in the general election. Lawmakers are expected to debate and then vote on the government's performance from Tuesday to Thursday. The Supreme Court last week suspended Gandhi's conviction in a defamation case, enabling him to return to Parliament and contest national elections due next year. Former Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan's lawyers were on Monday attempting to launch legal challenges against his 3-year sentence for graft that has ruled him out of contesting national elections. The former international cricket star was arrested at home on Saturday and taken to jail for charges he has previously said were politically motivated. His lawyers have so far been denied access to him at Atok jail, around 60 kilometers west of the capital, Islamabad. It was reported that petitions were being filed in Islamabad and Lahore High Courts demanding power of attorney for the jailed former leader that would allow lawyers to challenge his conviction. A petition has also been filed to request that Khan be held in an A-class cell, more comfortable than other quarters and usually reserved for VIP inmates. Atletico Mineiro and winless streak sports when we come back. We're back with sports. Football, the Brazilian Serie A. Atletico Mineiro returned to winning ways following an 8-match winless run after defeating Sao Paulo 2-0. The visitors opened the scoreline 4 minutes into the game following Hulk's fierce free kick that found the back of the net. Christian Pavon then made it 2-0 when he converted a spot kick in the 69th minute following a poor defending by Sao Paulo. The 2-0 result saw Atletico Mineiro move up to 10th place in the table, level with 24 points, 2 points behind Sao Paulo. On to tennis, the 2023 City Open. Great Britain's Dan Evans won his second ATP Tour title by beating talent Griekspoor in a rain-interrupted final. World number 21 Evans triumphant 7-5, 6-3 against the Dutchman after a 90-minute rain stoppage to notch his first victory at an ATP 500 event. The 33-year-old won the final after saving 4 break points in the last game before ending the match with a service winner. Evans is the first in Britain to win the tournament since Tim Henman in 2003. When we return, cocaine worth over 17 million ringgit seized. Stay with us. Welcome back. In Terengganu, a teacher was killed after the car she was driving crashed into the rear of a trailer in Dungun on Monday morning. It was reported that the 6:45 a.m. incident occurred at Jalan Kuala Terengganu, Kuantan, near the Police Training Centre Pulapul intersection in Kampung Rantau Abang. The 34-year-old victim, identified as Nur Shahzatul Ain Yaakob, succumbed to her injuries at 8:40 a.m. after she was rushed to the Dungun Hospital Emergency Unit. Her body was then taken to the hospital's forensics unit for post-mortem. District Police Chief, Acting Superintendent Maizura Abdul Kadir, said the victim was heading to work from SMK Rasal Kerteh in Kemaman from her home in Marang when the accident occurred. It was understood that the sand-laden trailer that was travelling from Dungun had suddenly made a U-turn at the intersection. Nur Shahzatul's Perudua Maivi, which was approaching from the opposite lane, however failed to evade the trailer in time and slammed into the heavy vehicle. A team of firemen deployed to the scene took about 40 minutes to extricate the victim, who was pinned in her car. Police are investigating the case under the Road Transport Act for causing death due to reckless and dangerous driving. The Customs Department scored major success when it seized 88 kilograms of drugs estimated to be worth 17.6 million ringgit in a raid at the Kuala Lumpur International Airport KLIA Air Cargo Complex in Sepang, Selangor on August the 1st. Its Director General, Dato' Zazuli Johan, said at the 8 p.m. operation, the department seized 4 crates containing 995 glass bottles, suspected to contain cocaine capsules. It was believed that the syndicate's modus operandi was declaring the shipment as supplements to avoid detection by authorities. Vehicle spare parts, such as car brake discs, were also found in each crate. Based on initial investigations, the drug supply was brought into the country from the Netherlands and was meant to be distributed within the domestic market. It was also found that the syndicate used a fake company name in the importation documents, and thus making it difficult to arrest the importer. The department is still tracking down the suspects, who are believed to be locals. The case is being investigated under the Dangerous Drugs Act. In Perak, 4 people were burnt to death while another person suffered serious injuries when the car they were travelling in crashed and burst into flames on the West Coast Expressway near Changkat Cermin on Monday. State Fire and Rescue Department Director Sayani Saidon said they were alerted about the accident at 5:11 p.m. and a team of firemen from Aitawa and Setiawan were rushed to the scene. Upon arrival, the team found the car that had skidded and crashed into a drain still ablaze with 5 men inside. The firemen, however, only managed to rescue one of the victims, who was identified as 54-year-old Sharif Muhammad Siddiq Muhammad. The identities of the 4 deceased have yet to be ascertained. It was learned that the victims were working in Lumut and were on their way home to Ipoh. The 4 bodies were taken to Sri Manjung Hospital for post-mortem. As we conclude Nightline this time around, let's take a look at a Tunisian artist as he carves out a unique artistic world for himself, where he wills metal scrap, factory remains and discarded industrial material into works of art. With that, I'm Adrian Seet. Thank you for watching and stay safe, Malaysia.